Margama Witch, and welcome back to Steins Gate. In the last episode, Suzuha finally reunited with her dad, and then had to leave. Unfortunately, we don't have time to mourn her departure. In about an hour and a half, Moeka's group will attack the lab. Before that happens, we need to acquire the IBN 5100 that Suzuha went to 1975 to obtain. The time machine's sudden disappearance has thrown the area into chaos, which makes it easier for us to slip out unnoticed. See you in 35 years, Suzuha said. 54-year-old Suzuha should be here in Akiba. Before she left, we decided that the time machine's disappearance would be her cue to bring the IBN 5100 to the lab. But when we return to the lab, there's no 54-year-old woman waiting for us. It seems Suzuha hasn't come yet. Phew. No more running. Kurusu gasps for breath while Mayuri calmly munches on a banana. As I check the lab for any signs of Suzuha, a line of red numbers catch my eye. The meter reads 0.337187%. The divergence hasn't changed. Reading Steiner didn't activate this time, so I suspected that it might be the case. Let's think this through. I thought the divergence would change the instant Suzuha obtained the IBN 5100 in 1975. But maybe there's something else that needs to happen. Will it change the instant Suzuha hands me the IBN 5100? Or will it change when we use the IBN 5100 to delete my email from Seren's database? At any rate, all we can do now is wait for Suzuha to arrive. Suzuha's 54 by now, right? After catching his breath, Daru speaks. My daughter's 30 years older than me. I don't know if I want to see that. It feels weird, man. You know, it wouldn't be unusual for her to have grandchildren by that age. You mean I could have great-grandkids I don't know? Oh, I don't know if I'm ready for that, man. Just be super nice to them. That's what grandpas do. Please don't call me Grandpa. A knock on the door interrupts their idle chatter. It must be Suzuha. Everyone looks at me with a strange mixture of anticipation and anxiety. I slowly open the door.
Oh, Okabe.
Okabe! Instead of an old woman, we get a wall of muscle. Our disappointment is palpable. Oh, it's you. Hey, have you seen my part-timer? Mr. Braun peeks into the lab. If you're looking for Suzu-san, she went 35 years.
Shut up, Mayuri.
Shut up, Mayuri. Kurusu covers Mayuri's mouth. You know something? Where'd that girl run off to? She took the last couple days off, and I don't know when she's coming back. She won't even answer her phone. We don't have time for this, but I can't just order him to leave, not unless I want another cracked skull. She said she went back to her hometown. She's probably gone for good. What? You sure? That brat, she didn't say a word to me. The future is changing. Isn't this proof? On my previous sleeps, Mr. Braun never came by the lab. This must be related to Suzuha's trip to 1975. Surely it's a good sign. Now, as long as the attractor field doesn't amend history again, Mr. Braun sighs and turns to me with a serious expression. Well, whatever. I've got something for you, Okabe. For me? He hands me an envelope. It's addressed to Okabe Rintaro, but there's no stamp or postmark. The name Hashida Suzu is written on the back. What is this? It's from the lady who used to own this building. She asked me to give it to you on this day. Huh? Who? How did you know Suzu-san anyways? Suzu-san? Suzu-san, of course! The name on the back reads Hashida Suzu. Hashida is Daru's surname. Where is she now? Huh? She passed away 10 years ago. Passed away? She's dead? A wave of dizziness nearly sweeps me off my feet. How old was she? Mid-40s, I think. The age fits. Thank you for taking care of this letter, Mr. Braun. Is it from Suzuha? Seriously? Why did he have it? Mr. Braun clearly doesn't understand our reaction, and we're not about to explain. I thank him again, he grumbles a bit and leaves. As soon as he's gone, I break the seal and open the envelope. Inside is a handwritten letter. The characters are slightly messy, as if the hand was shaking as she wrote it. Our eyes, transfixed, begin to read. Dear Okabe Rintaro, it's me, Amane Suzuha, Hashida Tito's daughter. It's been a long time. Though for you, I'm sure it's only a few hours have passed. The date is June 13th, the year is 2000. Meaning I'm writing this 10 years before you read it. I'm getting right to the point. I failed. 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 The date is June 14th, the year 2000. About 9 or 10 years before you will read this. I failed. I only remember who I was 1 year ago today. The day Nostradamus said the King of Terror would come. Stupid, stupid King of Terror. He should have come and burned us all away. For 24 years, I forgot who I was. All I could remember was my name. I finally remember 1 year ago. The day the King of Terror was supposed to come but didn't. There's no King of Terror, but I want to die. The repairs were incomplete. The time machine malfunctioned. When I arrived in 1975, I couldn't remember anything. They found me lying in the street like a broken doll and took me to the hospital. Now I've been living on my own for years. But that's as Hashida Suzu, a normal person who forgot the duty and mission of Amane Suzuha. I only remembered last year. I failed, I failed, I failed, I failed. I'm a failure. Something went wrong, I don't know what. The repairs were incomplete, but it's not Dad's fault, it's mine. I should have gone straight to 1975. I shouldn't have stopped in 2010. But I was selfish, and now the future is doomed. There is no IBN 5100. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. For what purpose have I lived to this age? I forgot my duty and lived a carefree life instead. Now my life has no meaning at all. It's worthless. Worthless, worthless. I wish I hadn't remembered. I'm glad I finally remembered. I'm glad I had this chance to say sorry. Forgive me, forgive me, forgive me. My plan failed. I spent this whole year asking myself why. I finally figured it out. If I hadn't postponed my leap to 1975, this wouldn't have happened. Okabe Rintaro, after the offline meet, you stopped me from going to 1975. I was really happy, but that's where it all went wrong. I should have left. I shouldn't have waited. That was my last chance. That night, there was a thunderstorm. My time machine was flooded. If you can go back to the day, please, please let me leave. Then I can bring you the IBN 5100. I can fulfill my mission. Please, that's all I want. I promised Dad. This was his dream. I want to change the future. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My life was meaningless. My hands curl, crumpling the page. I realize that I'm crying. Suzuha failed? She lost her memory? Her life was meaningless? This can't be happening. Nobody says a word. Their faces, like mine, are frozen in disbelief. I turn to Daru. He's whiter than a sheet. Daru, didn't you fix the time machine? I did. I thought I did. But, I mean, that was my first time repairing a time machine. I might have missed something. Missed something? Whatever you missed cost your daughter 24 years of her life. I didn't do it on purpose. Calm down, both of you. Hashida did everything he could. He doesn't deserve your anger, Okabe. How can you be so calm? That's how I am. Sorry. Now calm down. It's not Daru's fault. I know that. But it can't end like this. It can't. What was Suzuha feeling as she wrote this letter? I look again at the words scrawled upon the page. Every character resonates with despair. I wanted to welcome her back with a smile. Instead, this. Suzuha is dead. 10 years gone. Wait, how did she die? Don't tell me. Mr. Braun must know what happened. I run to the window and check the streets. Mr. Braun is outside closing up shop.
Mr. Braun!
Mr. Braun! I run downstairs. Okabe, did you hear? That satellite up and disappeared. Everyone's talking about it. I guess it's already made the news. Please, I need to know. No what? Hashida Suzu-san. How did she die? Why do you want to know that? He looks at me hard. I meet his stare, unflinching. I don't know anything about how she died. I need to know what her last moments were like. I feel that it's my duty to know, to engrave her memory into my heart. Sounds like you've got a reason. What I want to know is how you knew her. She was an old acquaintance. That's all I can say. A very old acquaintance, but I still remember the time I spent with her. So please, tell me. I don't like to talk about it, but alright. Listen good, Okabe. I slowly nod. And then I get my answer. It was suicide. The words drop in my heart like an anvil. My knees give out and I collapse on the pavement. Suicide. She hung herself at home. I was the one who found her. My life was meaningless. I recall the last words she wrote in her letter. Words of unimaginable despair. She didn't deserve so bleak an end. She became unstable about a year before it happened. Before that, she was nice, cheerful lady. This building was hers. She gave me a place to stay. She had no relatives, you know. Almost no one came to her funeral. It was a sad thing to see. She handed me that letter a week before it happened, told me to give it to a young man named Okabe Rintaro on this exact date. When you moved in upstairs, I thought Suzu-san must have seen the future or something. Enough. I can't take it anymore. I try to stand, but my legs betray me. I stumble, but before I fail, a small body supports my shoulder. Okari, are you okay? Mayuri. It must be taking all of her strength to hold me up. Did Mayuri hear how Suzuha died? Her eyes are wet, her lips are trembling. Still, she's the one supporting me. Mayuri and I bow deeply to Mr. Braun and return to the lab. When we get back, Daru is seated at his computer, head on the table. Kurusu is standing in front of the TV, watching an excited reporter talk about the Raidicon. The disappearance of the satellite is huge news, obviously. The lounge is silent, save for the TV. I look at the table. The divergence meter still reads 0.337187%. It hasn't changed since before Suzuha left. What went wrong? I can't go back 10 years with the time leap machine. I can't do anything about Suzuha's death. Should I have stopped her from leaving at all? Maybe then this tragedy wouldn't have happened. No, what choice did I have? I can't save Mayuri without the IBN 5100. Suzuha had to travel to 1975. I consider my options. What if I redo these 2 days again? Could Dado fix the time machine so it doesn't happen? Is fixing the time machine even possible? Dado's skills are second to none, but the time machine was built by his own hand 26 years in the future. It seems logical that he would be able to fix it. But look at it another way. It took Dado 26 years to learn enough to build the time machine, and he had to reverse engineer Steins to do it. Maybe it's unreasonable to expect Dado to perform flawless repairs in only 2 days. In that case, can I have Dado use the time leap machine to repeat these 2 days until he repairs it? No, he'll have to start from scratch each time. 2 days just aren't enough. I collapse onto the sofa and bury my face in my hands. Mayuri sits next to me and gently rubs my back. I'm grateful for her kindness. I recall what Suzuha wrote. If you can go back to that day, please let me leave. The D-mail I sent. Could that be the cause? On the original world line, Suzuha leapt to 1975 after failing to meet her father. Unsatisfied with the outcome, I sent a D-mail to convince myself to follow Suzuha and prevent her from leaving. As a result, she remained in 2010 for an additional 4 days. But that night, the time machine was damaged by thunderstorms. If I hadn't followed Suzuha that day, if I hadn't sent the D-mail to myself, her time machine would not have malfunctioned. She would have arrived safely in 1975. The solution is obvious. I need to cancel that D-mail. But can I really do that? If I change the past so that Suzuha leaves, won't that undo the 4 days we spent together? Our frantic search through the streets of Akiba? Her heartfelt confession on the roof of the Raidikan? Her tearful reunion with her father Daru? All of it will be undone. What do I do? An urgent bulletin pops up on the TV. I look up in surprise. Bomb threat suspended. Yamanote Sobu Keihin Tohoku lines. Damn, Moika's men will be here any minute. There's no time to think. No time to hesitate. I run downstairs and break into the Braun Tube workshop and turn on the 42-inch CRTV. Then I return to the lab and activate the time leap machine.
Okabe,
what are you doing, Okabe? Kurusu demands an answer. I can see the fear in her eyes. We can't just leave it like this. We have to do something. Okabe. But Okarin, are you sure? Don't try to stop me, Mayuri. I can't let this stand. There are 2 options. I can cancel the D-mail that convinced me to pursue Suzuha. Sending the contradictory D-mail should do the trick. Or I can time leap again and prevent Suzuha from leaving. 2 options, but really just one. Do not hesitate, Okabe Rintaro. Hesitation is unforgivable. You already know what you must do. Stop pursuit. Last mail. Is set in trap. That should be enough to convince me to let Suzuha go. Kurisu, you're good at remembering dates, aren't you? Huh? Well, sure. When did we throw that party for Suzuha? 4 days ago, August 9th. You're sending a D-mail, Okarin? But won't that make everything disappear? 4 days. It may not sound like much, but in that time, we forged a definite bond with Suzuha. To send that D-mail is to sever that bond. I know that. But this is the only choice I have. I set the phone wave to 97 hours ago. This D-mail should arrive a few hours after the first. Now I just need to send it. Save Mayuri. That is my purpose. That is what drove me to leap through time. I'll do whatever it takes to save her. This is just one more sacrifice. Erase the time you spent with Suzuha. Destroy whatever bonds you had. Send the D-mail. Push the button. Isn't that what Suzuha wants? You'll be saving her from 25 years of loneliness. From ending her life in utter despair. Save Suzuha, save Mayuri. This is the right thing to do. This is right. But is it really? Is erasing those memories really the right thing to do? Isn't that just running away from reality? Shouldn't I try time leaping first? Maybe there's another way. What should I do? What's the right choice? Stop, you're starting to doubt. Never doubt. I don't know the answer. But I need to reach a conclusion or else. I can't. I can't do it. I can't send this email. Acting on impulse, I don the headgear and punch in 48 hours time leap. Do you have a plan? I ignore her and bite down hard on my lip. As the taste of blood fills my mouth, I press the button. We can take that as a no. And on that note, I'm going to leave this episode here. Oh, that last episode was so sad. Poor Suzuha. I mean, she got to live a normal life, so that's good on her, but to finally remember and then... the devastation and despair. All of it for naught. It's terrible. But anyways, if you're enjoying this series and you want to see what happens next, then please subscribe and do all that YouTube shit. And in the next episode, we're going to see what Okabe decides to do now that he's used the phone leap machine, or the time leap machine, yet again. So I'll see you then.